everybody, welcome back to Box Nest. My name is Tyler, aka the Box Nest Owl, and today I am going to be reviewing Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 3, Oathbreaker. So, yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so this episode I find it's kind of a mixed bag, but still rates pretty high for me, honestly. There's a lot of high points. Like, everything was either really great or everything was just like, ugh, I didn't need this. But let's get into the episode and I'll tell you about what I thought. So first we start off with Jon at the wall. As I said last time, he came back to life, so it's pretty much just them dealing with that. I will say nothing really special about the scene, except, you know, of course, the man came back to life. But outside of that, I didn't like the fact that the writers put in that whole thing where it's like, what happened to you when you died? It's like, well, nothing. Really? Nothing? Nothing at all. In the miracle of life, which ends at death, nothing happens? Not even a single thing? I just wish once, they would write in something like, I don't know, oh yeah, no, it was great. I saw Ygritte again. That was pretty cool. My dad was there, my brother, my stepmom. Those two other Night's Watch guys who are my friends. Their name's Gren and Pip. Yeah, they were there too. Yeah, no, death was it was trippy, or just something imaginative, right? Like, come on, guys. I don't know. I mean, I know they're trying not to seem prejudiced against certain denominations, you know, because everybody has their own sort of interpretation of the afterlife, but I just wish they'd put in something, because when you don't, it does feel just a little bit lazy. But yeah, overall, Jon Snow is back, and he is back for good, it seems, or at least, you know, for the season. Next, we cut over to Sam and Gilly, which, is still a thing that's going on. I kind of feel like Sam and Gilly's entire arc is just like, we now take you from Game of Thrones to the Sam and Gilly show, because it seems like none of what they do has any relevance to any of the lives of these characters, and it's honestly starting to kind of annoy and bore me. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe they'll have some good moments, maybe we'll finally see something important out of these two characters, but for right now, Sam is seeming fairly useless, and Gilly is seeming like a less entertaining Shay. So, I don't know, maybe it'll pick up, maybe not, but I guess I just have to keep watching to find out. Next up, we go to the scene of the Tower of Joy, which is it's a thing from the books, but essentially, Rhaegar Targaryen kidnapped Lyanna Stark, who is Ned Stark's younger sister, and brought her to this place near Dorne called the Tower of Joy, and is theorized to have copulated with her and made Jon Snow. So, yeah, I mean, the sequence was actually pretty good. We get a flashback to younger Ned again. But I really liked the fight scene and the way it played out. I like the other Kingsguard, seeing them in action. And I like that little tease where, if you listen closely, you can hear when Lyanna screams from the tower, you hear a baby cry. And once again, the Three-Eyed Raven seems to be pulling Bran out of these dreams, sort of at the worst times, because this one, we might have actually seen the parentage of Jon Snow, potentially, and Three-Eyed Raven's just cock block, so, gee, thanks, buddy. I totally didn't want to know that, since season 1. But anyways, moving on, as they do, we go to King's Landing, wherein we see Qyburn taking on Varys's little birds, as it were, or his spy network, which apparently is some easily persuaded, sickly orphan children who will basically tell you anything if you give them candy. And if you're anything like me, yes, that does sound incredibly dumb and incredibly creepy. Yeah, but either way, I am starting to enjoy Jaime and Cersei, the twins, getting into the mix of things, and they're trying to like consolidate their power and start to make some gains on these losses they've been having this past while, right? But one of the things I enjoy a lot is just Jaime's dialogue, because it feels to me like there's this kind of subtext in everything Nikolai Coster-Waldau says. It was like, what the hell happened while I was away? The mountain is a zombie? You lost control of the capital to the church? Tommen's a bitch boy? What is going on here? Like, I leave for like 10 seconds and everything is gone to shit. But, yeah, a lot about Gregor Clegane being a zombie mountain guy now. Maester Pycelle had himself a little fart joke in the middle of the episode saying, "He's an abomination!" And then, like, they walked into the room and he crapped himself. And then the small council acted like a bunch of children on a playground and were like, "Yeah, Jaime and Cersei, we don't need to talk to you, so we're just gonna dip." And that's kind of one of my lower points right there. I wasn't a fan of that, especially since one of the small council members, in fact, the almost kind of ringleader of these guys, Kevin Lannister, is their uncle, Tywin's younger brother. So, yeah, it was super weird watching him act like that. And then on top of that, he keeps bringing up their failings, and it kind of makes me recall, like, hey, whose kid, decided all of a sudden that he wanted to join the faith militant that is causing all these problems for you? Oh, that's right. Your kid, Sir Kevin. It was Lancel Lannister. So, yeah, no, thanks for that. Thanks for your stupid abomination child ruining our lives with his faith and whatnot. But, yeah. We then cut across this narrow sea again, which everybody loves. To Tyrion, who is sitting with Missandei and Grey Worm trying to have a conversation, try and maybe get to the root of some of these problems that are going on, but they're waiting for Varys to come back from converting one of their enemies to his side. So basically what happens is Tyrion tries to make conversation with them and let's play a game. Let's pretend it's the earliest seasons, and I, Peter Dinklage, Tyrion, am getting all the cool lines and all the funny scenes and getting all the Emmys. And then Grey Worm says, "What is Emmy?" And then Tyrion says, "Well, you're never gonna find out if you keep being this boring. Nobody wants to watch this." Which, I don't know, maybe you guys actually enjoy it. I personally find the whole thing just super boring. I'm really just kind of waiting for them to invade Westeros, because right now the Narrow Sea plot is a little unnecessary. Like, we spend a lot more time, I feel, than we should on it, and there's not too much that goes on. And also Missandei and Grey Worm are super boring people, but essentially they've all decided that the people who are causing problems are a problem and need to be dealt with, which, yeah. Way to go, guys. Good job, team. Anyways, still across the Narrow Sea, we cut to Daenerys, who is not having a good time with the Doshkaline. They are in Vice Dothrak, and Daenerys is kind of, I'm not sure if this is what it's actually called, but it reminds me, she's in what reminds me of like this ashram, I think, is it the word or the term? But as I understand it, sorry if I offend anyone, but as I understand it, it's like it's a place where widows go in the Hindu religion when their husband dies. They go to this place and their head gets shaved and they get like these robes and they have to live out the rest of their lives with other widows. So she's in one of those with the wives of other great Khals, and basically she's all like, "I'm Daenerys, mother of dragons, conqueror of peoples, and breaker of change, and I was born during a storm." And she's like, yeah, that's great. I used to be important too, and then I got married, and then my husband died, and I had to come here. It doesn't matter where you came from. Your life sucks now. Have fun." So I like her being told off because Daenerys is she's a very arrogant character and kind of super high and mighty, and I like to see her sort of out of her element, because her element in the last couple of seasons has just been being surrounded by like a bunch of servants, and it's like, yay, my life is great now, and no more slavery, screw that, and yeah. So I like to see her just kind of hit rock bottom pretty much. I find it a little funny, honestly. But it does seem to me like her storyline has actually, for the first time, seemed pretty interesting to me. So I do want to see where that goes, and yeah, I hope it's entertaining. Anyways, yeah. So next we have the Boltons, and oh my gosh, this is probably my favorite dialogue scene in the episode, because Ramsay is talking to, I think it's not Great John Umber, but I don't know, the Lord of House Umber guy. I forgot his name, but I also think this is why the episode was called Oathbreaker, because they all swore oaths to the Starks, and well, now they're all rebels pretty much, and they basically betrayed the Starks. But essentially, Ramsay ends up getting Rickon, who is the youngest Stark child, and Osha, who is that wildling who was traveling with him, as a gift, as it were. And yeah. Oh yeah, Rickon's dog is dead now, so I guess that's just, yeah, no, another direwolf bites the dust, which is really unfortunate, because I feel like so far now we have Ghost and maybe Summer, but we haven't seen Summer in a long time. So yeah, and then Nymeria is supposedly off in the woods, according to some book readers, but again, it's kind of like, well, she's just off doing her own thing. So yeah, so Ghost is pretty much the only direwolf essentially now that we have on the show, which is kind of a shame, because I like the direwolves, but I think that it's going to be interesting to see where the series goes for these two characters, especially. I don't know why I stopped speaking English for a second. But Rickon and Osha, I hope they're alive by the end, because Ramsay is a psychopath, so let's just hope for the best, I guess. Anyways, yeah, but I mean, you know, hopefully they make it out of there, because he got that super creepy grin on his face. And anyways, lastly, we get to the wall situation, wherein the traitors of Castle Black, which seemed like a lot more when Jon Snow got stabbed, and then are now just like 4 guys, I guess. Okay. They're hung for their treason by Jon Snow, who kind of like goes along and talks to them a bit, and 2 of them are just kind of wusses and not really important characters. I don't even know who those guys are. Alistair Thorne, who, oh my god, Owen Teale, the actor who plays Alistair Thorne, I gotta just give him a round of applause, because that was some really great acting from this guy all throughout. And honestly, I know it's gonna sound kind of controversial. I loved Alistair Thorne. Like, I had so much respect for that character, just as a character. I loved the way he was written, the way he was acted. I'm gonna miss his character, and I loved his like final words to Jon. Like, I fought and I lost, and now I rest, because he is that guy. He's he and Jon Snow will always have been at odds. Like, they'll never be friends, they'll never agree, but at the same time, it's like you can see where Jon's coming from, you can see where Thorne is coming from, and you can respect both points of view, and it's like, oh, damn, I want to hate you, but no, you're right, kind of, in a way, right? Like, it does make sense. Like, you know, it does make sense. And he is a man of the Night's Watch through and through, and he thought what he was doing was right. Jon Snow thought what he was doing was right, and their two ideologies just kind of clashed. So, I mean, like, he accepts that what he did is has led to this course, and, you know, he's willing to go out. And then, of course, Ollie was there, which, yep. Anyways, yeah, he's dead now, so thank God for that, because fuck Ollie, dude. Yeah, Ollie's dead, and I am glad about it. The only thing I did have a problem with in that scene was the fact that they hung the traitors. I don't know, it just kind of feels to me like this is more of a decapitating society. There's been a lot of beheadings, so I just figured that was the natural punishment. But, I don't know, it's like a minor nitpicky gripe, so, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, and then Jon Snow gives his cloak away to Dolorous Ed, and then says his watch is ended and walks away, which kind of gave me some of the feels right there, because, you know, it's a little disappointing. Jon's not going to be part of the Night's Watch. Anyways, that has been the episode. Thank you for watching. Please like the video if you did. I appreciate that very much. Subscribe. And if you dislike the video, let me know why in the comments below so I can try and like make these better. I am in a different location. This is my house, not Dante's, so yeah. And so yeah, subscribe to the channel, and of course, as usual, you can cycle through the videos. After editing episode 2, I noticed that I put it into the wrong ends of the screen because it's flipped around. So instead, click here in the top, well, my right, your left, for the last review I did, and then click here in the top, my left, your right, to see the review of the next episode, episode 4, which will be called whatever it's called, because I don't know yet. Anyways, I have been Box Nest Owl, and I will see you guys next week with the review of the next episode. Bye.